कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुष्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं कौ नयाति पराङ्गतिं यत्पिबं सततं रामचरितामृतासागरम् अदृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषं गोष्पदीकृतवारासं मसकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम् अंजनानंदनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीसमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् आमिषीकृतमार्ताण्डं गोष्पदीकृतसागरं तृणीकृतदशग्रीवम् आञ्जनेयं नमाम्यहम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोसलिलसलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनेव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पौमाननन्दनम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं भाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि यः कर्णाञ्जलिसम्पुटैः हरः सम्यक् पिबत्यादरात् वाल्मीकेर्वदनारविन्दगलितं रामायणाख्यं मधुः जन्मव्याधिजराविपत्तिमरणैः अत्यन्तसोपद्रवं संसारसह विहाय गच्छति पुमान् विष्णोर्पदं शाश्वतम् तदुपगतसमाससन्धियोगं सममधुरोपनतार्धवाक्यबद्धं रघुवरचरितं मुनिप्रणीतं दशशिरसश्च वदं निशामयध्वं वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूतानां रामसागरगामिनि पुनातु भुवनं पुण्यात् रामायणं महानदी श्लोकसारसमाकीर्णं सर्गकल्लोलसङ्कुलं काण्डग्राह्यमहामीनं वन्दे रामायणार्णवम् वेदवेदे परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजं वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना वैदेही सहितं सुरुद्रमुतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाच इति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं वाक्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलं वामे भूमिसुता पुरश्च हनुमान् पाश्चात् सुमित्रासुतः शत्रुघ्नो भरतश्च पार्श्वदलयोः वायव्यादिकोणेषु च सुग्रीवश्च विभीषणश्च युवराट् तारासुतो जाम्बवान् मध्ये नीलसरोजकोमलरुचिं रामं भजे श्यामलम् माता रामो मत्पिता रामो भ्राता रामो मत्सखा राघवेशः सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालुः नान्यदेवं नैव जाने न जाने साकेते शरदिन्दुकुन्दधवळे सौदे महामण्डपे पर्यस्ता अगरुदूपदीपललिते कर्पूरदीपोज्ज्वले सुग्रीवाङ्गदजाम्बवत् परिवृतं सौमित्रिणा सेवितं लीलामानुषविग्रहं रघुवरं रामं भजे श्यामलम् मेघश्यामं महाबाहुं स्थिरसत्त्वं दृढव्रतं कदा द्राक्ष्यामहे रामं जगतः शोकनाशनम् जयत्यतिबलो रामो लक्ष्मणश्च महाबलः राजा जयति सुग्रीवा राघवेण अभिपालितः दासोऽहं कौसलेन्द्रस्य रामस्य क्लिष्टकर्मणः हनुमान् शत्रुसैन्यानां निहन्तां मारुतात्मजः न रावणसहस्रं मे युद्धे प्रतिबलं भवेत् शिलाभिस्तु प्रहर्तारपादपैश्च सहस्रशः अर्धयित्वां पुरीं लङ्काम् अभिवाद्यश्च मैथिलीं समृद्धार्दो गमिष्यामि मिषतां सर्वराक्षसां धर्मात्मा सत्यसन्धश्च रामो दाशरथिर्यदि पौरुषे च अप्रतिद्वन्द्वः शरयेन जहि रावणीम् धर्मात्मा सत्यसन्धश्च रामो दाशरथिर्यदि पौरुषे च अप्रतिद्वन्द्वः शरयेन जहि रावणीम् आपदमपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवगौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे तपस्वाध्याय निरतां तपस्विं वाग्वेदां वरं नारद परिपप्रच्छ वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम् ओम रामाय नमः. Continuing with our Aranyakanda. Actually, many of you might be wondering why should I do such a long prayer. When I say Veda Vede Pare Pumsi Jate Dasaratmatmajam Vedah Pracetasadaasit Sakshat Ramayanatmana. It means Vedas themselves, there is a saying that even a golden plate needs the support of a wall, right? Even though it's gold, it cannot stand by itself. Similarly, Vedas, even though they are the first heard rules and praises of the Lord, but still, even those Vedas have to survive, the test of time. So they took the shelter of Ramayana. So when the son of Dasaratha walked as Rama, Vedas themselves became Ramayana. When the essence of Vedas walked as the son of Dasaratha, Vedas themselves walked as Ramayana. And this prayer that I say first glorifies Hanuman, and also when you come down, it glorifies Valmiki. It starts with Valmiki, glorifies Hanuman, and then comes and glorifies Ramayana itself. Sloka Sara Samakirnam Sarga Kallola Sankulam Kanda Grahya Mahameenam Vande Ramayana Arnavam. Ramayana Arnava means ocean of Ramayana. Sloka Sara Samakirnam, it's full of slokas and sargas. Sarga Kallola Sankulam, it's crowded with sargas, chapters after chapters. Sloka Sara Samakirnam Sarga Kallola Sankulam Kanda Grahya Mahameenam. I mean, it is separated into kandas, this big fish, this big fishes of kandas, and they are in the ocean of Ramayana. It's like that. So it's so glorious. Ramayana is so glorious. So that's why we always appreciate, express our gratitude first to Valmiki, who presented as Rama, and then to Hanuman, who is like Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Anilatmajam. If Ramayana is a big garland, in that a necklace or a jewel, in that the crest jewel is Hanuman. So that's why we glorify him, because he is the devotee of Rama to bless us. So okay, so that's why we do that prayer. So you to try to learn it if possible. It's a nice thing, right? It's very good to listen. You like it? Right. So we are continuing with our Aranyakanda. Last week we stopped exactly at the point where Rama just met Agastya, sage Agastya. Lakshmana is sent by Ramachandra to inform the disciple of Agastya about his arrival. So when the disciple took the information from Lakshmana, and then he went inside, crossing all the altars of fire, and then he went inside, met Agastya and told the arrival of Ramachandra. Immediately Agastya said, "Why didn't you bring them in? Please go ahead and bring them." And the disciple again came back, brought Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. They crossed all the altars of Vishnu, Garuda, Subramanya, Skanda, Varuna, Indra, Ganapati. There are several altars, in Agastya Ashrama. They cross one by one, and then they come to the main altar of fire, which is, the Garuda Vedi. And after that, in the main sanctum, in that hermitage, Agastya was seated, the glorious sage Agastya was seated. Rama came, and then he fell at the feet of Agastya. Then Agastya lifted him, and then he made him sit. He gave him arghya, water, and he gave him a proper meal that time. And he said, "Looking at you, I can clearly say you are tired. Even the sweat underneath the chin of Sita Devi on her neck, and their upper clothes are wet with sweat. Even that is mentioned. Because you have been trekking these forests, I can see that you are tired. Please be seated." And he gave them the meal, and he addressed that Sita, born of Janaka, she has never underwent such struggles, but she followed you. It is very rare that women take up such hardships and follow their husband, and Sita have done it. She is an exception. And Agastya praised the glories of Sita, and he told Ramachandra that, "My dear child, you can stay here, and here is the bow that I have been given by Indra himself. Here is a golden bow gilded with gold, and here 2 quivers. These quivers can never be drained of the arrows. They are inexhaustible quivers. There will always be arrows in this. If you remove one arrow, there will be another arrow coming here. If you remove another one, it will be coming. So these are inexhaustible quivers. Take these 2 quivers and this bow. Take this from me." And then he blessed them. Then Ramachandra asked, "Where should I stay?" Then Agastya told, "This is a proper ashrama for you. Why don't you stay here?" Last week I said that all the sages guided Ramachandra towards to go to another place. But Agastya, formally he asks, "You can stay here." But Ramachandra promptly refuses and says, "My dear sage, I do not want to trouble you. I want to stay at a place where it is full of water, birds, and fruits and herbs are in plenty, and which is comfortable for Sita." Then Agastya said, "My dear child, 2 yojanas north of here, around 30 miles from here, there is a mountain, and before that mountain you will see a forest of some liquor flower. It's called Ippa. in Telugu. It's like a flower, like a grass flower, you see, and then it's brown in color, and when you peel it off, the pollen and the stigmas, everything, when you rub them off, you can eat that skin, and it's very sweet. They make some kind of liquor also with that. Any good stuff can be made into bad stuff, right? Yeah. That's not the nature of the tree. It's good. For example, yeah.
Sanskrit name for that?
Huh?
What is the Sanskrit name for that?
Sanskrit name, I don't remember. It's called Ippa, Vippa. Yeah. I will find out and tell you that one, because I didn't read the verse when I was reading this one, so I couldn't map it. But I have seen the plant. I've tasted the fruit. When I was in Bhadrachalam, probably at their age, the guide told us that Shabari gave these flowers to Rama, but that is not written in Ramayana. I mean, Shabari never tasted them either. She gave directly. But the trees are in abundance in that place. Panchavati still. So you'll see a forest of these trees, and beyond those trees you will see a mountain, and there the river Godavari is flowing. And on that you will find an appropriate place full of waterfowls, peahens, peacocks, sarasa birds, chakravaka, karandava. All these birds are there. So you reside there for the rest of your life. You have already surpassed the most of the years that you promised to your father that you will stay in the forest, and the remaining time you stay there happily and fulfill the promise that you have given to your father and be glorious in this world. Your father is a friend of mine. I know him very well. So you fulfill your promise. So please go and stay in Panchavati. And Rama promptly took farewell from the sage, and he bid adieu, and he proceeded with the new weapons that he got from Agastya with Lakshmana and Sita, and they all went towards north. And they found the place Panchavati. Rama tells Lakshmana, looking at this bluish green forest with all these Karandava birds and Chakravaka and Sarasa birds, and with all these flowery trees, I assume that this is Panchavati. I am convinced that this is Panchavati. This pleasant and tranquil waters of Godavari, it is so beautiful. So let's build a hermitage here. And just before he reached Panchavati, they came in contact with a mammoth eagle. A huge eagle was sitting right there. And then for 1 second, Rama and Lakshmana thought it was a Rakshasa. Then Rama and Lakshmana asked them, "Who are you?" Then the bird, Jatayu, replied, "My dear children, know me as your friend's father." It replied in a very friendly tone, "Satav madhuraya vacha prinayaniva uvacha vatsa mam vidhi vayasyam pituratmanaha." Satav madhuraya saumyaya prinayaniva uvacha vatsa mam vidhi vayasyam pituratmanaha. So pleasantly Jatayu replied that, "My dear child, know me as your father's friend." So far Rama has introduced himself to the sages. So far Rakshasas have come and questioned, "Who are you?" Or in all the forests, everybody questions Rama. This is the first time when somebody has recognized Rama just by seeing him. Right? Even Hanuman came and asked, "Who are you? Please tell me." But only Jatayu, even from a distance, he recognized it was Ramachandra. So Jatayu knows the essence of the Vedas and the truth. So he can recognize Rama in spite of Rama himself introducing him. That's why Jatayu is called Bhakta Sreshta. He's the best among the devotees. For those of you who don't know, when we started this Ramayana Harikatha for the first time, we started off with Jatayu being in a very bad condition after fighting with Ravana, and Rama meeting Jatayu and offering him the funeral rites. We started from that point and we continued our Ramayana. Because he is Bhakta Sreshta, we gave a tribute by starting our Ramayana with his episode. And today that Jatayu has met Rama one more time, and because it's a Nitya Leela. So when Jatayu came and he told him, "Satav madhuraya saumyaya prinayaniva uvacha vatsa mam vidhi vayasyam pituratmanaha." In my age I am equal to your father and I am a friend of your father. When we said that, Rama immediately he was very pleased. He was convinced that Jatayu was his father's friend, and he asked. But from the conversations of Jatayu, he understood that he is the friend of Dasaratha, because they have so many childhood memories, right? I and your dad went to that movie, things like that. So they have so many memories Jatayu spoke about. So by that, Rama understood, and then he asked, "Tell me about your lineage, your entire dynasty." Then Jatayu replied, "My dear Rama, know that there once upon a time there lived many Prajapatis, lots of the people. In that, Kardama is the first one. And then followed so many Prajapatis as their names are Kardama, Sesha, Samshraya, Sthanu, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Vivaswan, Kasyapa, Daksha. Like that, there are so many Prajapatis. Manu is not Prajapati. Manu is the son of Vivaswan. Right? Yeah. Shri Brahma, Marichi, Kasyapa, Vivaswan, Manu. Right? So Manu is not Prajapati. Manu is the progenitor of mankind. He is the progenitor. He is like a father to mankind. Pita. So, there are so many Prajapatis, and one of these Prajapatis, who is Kashyapa, got married to the 8 daughters of Daksha. Daksha had 60 daughters, and among them 8 daughters were married to Kashyapa. Last week, sometime back, one person in front of us asked, "Is it not wrong to marry so many women?" Or, yeah, according to the present day tradition and customs and this thing, it is wrong. Even in those days, Rama proved that it is wrong. That's why he married only one. But when you are given daughters in hand, when there is no eligible man, and when the other ladies have no problem, and when you have confidence that you can take many wives, yeah, what's wrong? So, when you listen to all these things, you don't concentrate on it's time, place, and circumstance. They differ. So for Kashyapa, for Daksha, he didn't find an eligible son-in-law. For him, only Kashyapa was the eligible son-in-law. So he gave all the daughters to him. And these 8 wives, these 8 daughters of Daksha are Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kalaka, Tamra, Krodavasha, Manu, and Anala. Of those daughters, when Kashyapa asked for children, Kashyapa ordered his wives that I want to bear children. So he told all his wives to produce his offsprings. Some of them agreed and produced divine beings, and some of them produced animals and other beasts. So of which Aditi gave birth to 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, Ekadasa Rudras, and 2 Ashwini Devatas. And Diti gave birth to Daityas, demons, 2 demons. They could be Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, we don't know. So, and Danu gave birth to a horse-headed demon called Hayagriva. It is from this Hayagriva, Vishnu killed this Hayagriva and took the Sudarshana Chakra. We'll come to it in Kishkinda Khanda. When the Vanaras go to, in the western direction, under the leadership of Susena, they will find this place. So, Danu gave birth to Hayagriva, a horse-headed demon. And Kalaka gave birth to 2 sons, namely Kalaka and Naraka. Naraka is a Rakshasa. He also resides in the western direction. Kalaka and Naraka. And Tamra gave birth to 5 daughters. Kraunchi, Bhasi, Sieni, Sukhi, and there's one more daughter. I don't remember right now. And Krodavasha gave birth to 10 children. They are Mrigi, Mrigamanda, Bhadramanda, Hari, Sweta, Surabhi, Surasa, Kadruva. There's one more. So, and Manu gave birth to Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras. And Anala gave birth to fruit-bearing trees. And the children of Tamra, Kraunchi, gave birth to cranes, waterfowls, ulukas, owls. And Bhasi gave birth to swans. And Sweta gave birth to falcons. And Sukhi gave birth to a daughter called Nata. And Nata gave birth to a daughter called Vinata. And Vinata gave birth to two sons, Garuda and Aruna. Aruna is a tailless being. Even before the egg hatched, Vinata broke the egg. She was curious to see what the child is. So when she broke the egg, he was only half formed. So he's called Anura because he doesn't have Ura. Ura means thighs. He doesn't have Uram, so he's called Anura. And he became the charioteer of sun god. If you see the toys upstairs in our temple, for the sun god they put for the charioteer they put the entire legs also. But that's wrong because they didn't read Shastra. So Anura is a tailless being. And I am the son of Anura and Seni. This Seni is not again the daughter of Kashyapa. She is a different one. So Aruna and his name is Aruna, or you can call him Anura because he doesn't have thighs. So Aruna and Seni, their children are Sampati and Jatayu. My brother is Sampati and I am Jatayu. And he also tells about the daughters of Krodavasya also. Mrigi gave birth to all the deers. Mrigamanda gave birth to bears, rickshaws, Himalayan yaks, and all other animals. And Bhadramanda gave birth to a daughter called Airavata. And Airavati gave birth to the elephant Airavata, who is the king of all elephants. That's why the royal elephants in Ayodhya are called Bhadragajas, right? Bhadragajam. And Mrigamande, Hari gave birth to all monkeys. That's why sometimes Hanuman is also called Hari, Hareshu. Harish means one who likes Hari. The other meaning is one who likes Hari, like the monkey. Rama also, he is also called Harish. Two ways you can call it. So Hari gave birth to monkeys, and Sharduli gave birth to tigers and other kind of gorillas. Sweta gave birth to lions and men. And Surabhi gave birth to cows and other living beings. And then Kadrua gave birth to Surasa. Surasa will come in our Sundarakanda. Very good. Surasa gave birth to the Nagas, and Kadrua gave birth to Anantasesha also, Adisesha, who bears this earth. And she also gave birth to ordinary serpents. There is a big story what happened between Vinata and Kadrua, how Garuda's mother was imprisoned and then Garuda went and bought poison. This is all written in other Puranas. But here Jatayu touches them briefly. So this is the history, my dear Rama. I am the son of Aruna and Seni. So then Rama heard and he was happy, and after, when he was convinced that he was his father's friend, he embraced Jatayu. That is also there. I did not mention last time. So he embraced Jatayu tightly, and then he said, let's go to Panchavati and let's live there. Jatayu says that, my dear Rama, when you and Lakshmana are far away from the hermitage, I will guard the hermitage and take care of Sita. So give me this opportunity. So let's all go. Then Rama, Lakshmana, Sita and Jatayu, they all joined together and they went to the place Panchavati. Here Rama looks at all these pleasant things and tells Lakshmana that, my dear Lakshmana, please build a hermitage here in a suitable place, whatever you think is comfortable. Then Lakshmana says, my dear brother, I am a dependent on you. I cannot decide what is the right place. You tell me, you yourself should tell me what is the right place, then only I can build it. Then Rama caught hold of his hand, took him, and then showed the rivers, a plain, a place that was, like a plateau, and it was too plain. He took to that place and said, this is an appropriate place. See all those fruit-bearing trees close by. Look at the water; it is also close by. And look at those mountains. They look as if they are too close, but at the same time they are not close either. They are at a right distance from here. Maybe the mountain should be at a right distance for some reason. So Rama says they're not too close and not too far. Last time we told this joke about, one devotee was saying, Prabhu, I want to buy a house, but it should not be too close to the temple, but at the same time it should not be too far. If it is too close, a lot of services. If it is too far, it's too far. So like that, that mountain is not too far and it's not too close. This is an ideal place. Let's build, please build a hut here. Then Lakshmana, upon the order of his brother, he went, he took a sword, he went and then he cut the bamboos, he bought them, he built 4 sturdy columns of the bamboos, and then he took other kinds of trees, leaves and everything, and then he built some rafters, and then he constructed a beautiful hut with altars, with a porch to sit, and then with some kind of a special room for Rama and Sita, a private room, and then a private room for Rama to converse with sages, if for any guests, and then a room for himself, so that he doesn't disturb his brother. Like that, he built a small cottage which had all these facilities, and then they did the Gruha Pravesha. They did the Vastu Sama and other homas. Then after completing them, they offered flowers to the demigods. Then they entered the cottage. And then Rama, looking at this beautiful hermitage that was built by Lakshmana, he was so pleased, and he says, Bhavagnena, Dharmagnena, Kritagnena cha Lakshmana, Tvaya Putrena Dharmatma, Na Samritta Pitamama. He says, oh Lakshmana, Bhavagnena, you know what others want, you know what I want. Dharmagnena, Kritagnena cha Lakshmana, you are so grateful, I am so grateful to you. You are so glorious that you remind me of my father Dasaratha, and your presence tells me that I never lost my father. Tvaya Putrena Dharmatma, that great souled Dasaratha, by having you as his son and in the form of my brother, he lives forever in your form. So Rama sees his father in Lakshmana. That's why in Ayodhya Kanda Rama says, Lakshmana, your father passed away, not my father. So that's why here Rama beautifully mentions Bhavagnena, Dharmagnena, Kritagnena cha Lakshmana, Tvaya Putrena Dharmatma, Na Samritta Pitamama. Then he embraces Lakshmana. What can I give you, Lakshmana? I can only give you my embrace. And then he embraces Lakshmana tightly. And then they all enter the cottage. Then Jatayu keeps guarding that hermitage. I heard from one of the acharyas that whenever you are going to a place, if you see an eagle, it's not good. It's a bad omen. For devotees, it's good. We don't care. For us, eagle is Garuda. But for Rakshasas, that's why when you see in Yuddhakanda, each time a Rakshasa comes out of the northern gate, one eagle comes and lands on his chariot. He comes out of the western gate, one eagle comes and lands on his chariot, and then it flies away. This is the duty of the eagles. They will be sitting there on a tree, watching. Whenever a Rakshasa comes, they go land on the chariot and then come back. It's a bad omen for the Rakshasas. So it's a bad omen for everybody too, in those days. So that's why Jatayu was hiding away into the trees. When he saw Rama, one Acharya was saying, Vaishnava Acharya, it was hiding into the trees that, I should not become a bad omen to Ramachandra. So that's why Rama thought he must be a demon, because he was hiding away, trying to hide away. But this was the reason why Jatayu was hiding away. So Jatayu was guarding the hermitage, and like that, days were passing, and in the Hemanta season, in Hemanta Rutu, one fine day, Rama, Lakshmana, they got up, they went to take bath in Godavari river. It was very cold, it was very misty. So when Rama got into the river, on the bank, Lakshmana stood with his hands folded, and he was explaining the season to his brother. He says, my dear brother, how beautiful is this Hemanta season. Look at the sky. The southern quarter is filled with the sun because it's Dakshinayana, and the northern quarter is bereft of the sun, just like a lady whose vermilion mark is being rubbed off, erased. Like this tells us that even in those days, ladies used to wear the vermilion mark, the kunkuma, the sindur, on their forehead. So this is from where we get our tradition. So I think last time Prabhuji, you asked where it is mentioned in Ramayana. Yeah. So the vermilion mark, just like the sun is in the southern quarter, the northern quarter is bereft of the sun. And in this season, the entire grass, flowers and the trees are filled with the dew drops, which are like pearls. They are shining like pearls early in this morning. And look at this water. It is unenjoyable in this season, whereas fire is a delight for people. And during this time, even the people of Ayodhya have come down from their terraces and then started sleeping in their houses. Because in summer they used to sleep on the terraces just like we do in India. So now they would have come down and must be sleeping in their houses. And look at this water. It is so cold that the elephant with its trunk is trying to touch the water and then taking back its trunk because of the chillness of the water. And look at all those birds who are scared to enter the water, just like soldiers who are scared to enter a war field, a battlefield. The birds are also very, scared. How beautifully Valmiki mentions the season. And during this time, the people will get the harvest to their homes, and after offering them to the demigods, they start consuming the grain and the harvest. And during this time, the harvest festival is done. Even that is mentioned in Ramayana. So during winter season, in January, during Makara Sankranti time, we celebrate the harvest festival. So even during Ramayana Kala, also in Treta Yuga, they used to celebrate this harvest festival. So in this season, everything is so cold. Water becomes unenjoyable, whereas fire is delight. And even Bharata, that Mahatma, the great-souled Bharata, the slender-waisted Bharata, Shyamo Nirudaro Mahan, that means he is also dark in color. And Ajanubahum, he also has long arms like Rama. He looks almost like Rama. And Padmapatrayata Ikshanam, the lotus-eyed Bharata with long arms and dark complexioned as a dark blue cloud. That Bharata also wakes up early in the morning, just like you do, and matted with, his hair matted with latex, and then wearing the robes of bark garments. He also proceeds to Sarayu river early in this morning, and then he takes bath in the Sarayu river. So how glorious it is when you have the same schedule in your family, all your brothers do the same thing wherever you are in this world. Whenever you are doing it, you remember your family, right? How beautiful that tradition is. Like Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, they all get up at the same time. They go to the river at the same time. They take bath, and while bathing, oh, my brother also does the same thing. So even though you are far away, separated by physical distance, but yet you are very close. This was a very beautiful episode which touches the heart of everybody. So Lakshmana is describing. So Bharata also comes to this Sarayu river early this morning, and then he takes shower and he fasts, and then only proceeds. He might be very thin, that hallowed stomach, Bharata. He says he's slender-waisted. So Bharata doesn't have a pot belly to consume the kingdom of Ayodhya. No, he has a hallowed stomach. So that Bharata, Lakshmana is praising that Bharata. And then now he talks about slowly he is getting, with a soft talk, he came, and then he's getting angry on his mother. That Kaikeyi, usually it is said, there is a saying that men get the nature of their mothers, but Bharata has disproved it. He has got the nature of his father Dasaratha. Even though Dasaratha promised that Kaikeyi, that he would exile you to 14 years and gave the kingdom to Bharata, he did not take it from his mother. So that Kaikeyi, and then he started rebuking Kaikeyi, then Rama stopped him. Said, Nate amba madhyama, tata garhitavya kadanchana. Says, tata means darling, my darling child. Nate amba madhyama, about my mother, the middle mother, like she is not the eldest, she is not the youngest, the middle one. Do not talk like this. Garhitavya kadanchana. Te iva Ikshvakunadasya Bharatasya kadam kuru. That means tell the story of Ikshvakunada, who is ruling the Ikshvaku kingdom right now, who is Bharata. Tell him his story. Tell me his story, but don't talk bad about my mother Kaikeyi. He said the same thing in Ayodhya also, right? At that time people might have thought, oh, in Ayodhya everybody is there, that's why Rama is saying, don't talk like that, keep quiet. But here in the forest nobody is there. Still Rama says the same thing. That's why Rama, there's a saying, right, in Telugu, Vakamata, Vakabanam, Vakasita Nadani. That means he says one word, one arrow and one Sita. No double dealings at all. So he says, Lakshmana, do not talk about my mother like that, but talk about Bharata. I like him. And then Rama further says, Samsmarami asya vakyani Priyani Madhurani cha Hridayani Amritah Kalpani Manah Prahaladani cha. I am always thinking about the speech of my dear Bharata. Samsmarami Asya Vakyani. I always remember his sentences. Priyani, they are very dear. Madhurani, very sweet. Hridayani Amritah Kalpani. They are like ambrosial words in my heart. Hridayani Amritah Kalpani. Manah Prahaladani cha. And they cause pleasure to my heart. Such glorious speech is my brother's speech. Bharata's speech. Talk about Bharata. Then Lakshmana spoke about Bharata and he described the entire Hemanta season. Very beautiful episode. And then Rama and Lakshmana got up and then they went back to their hermitage. And when days were passing and one fine day when Sita, Rama and Lakshmana, they were seated and Jatayu might have been on vacation because otherwise Surpanaka will not trespass the precincts, right? As long as Jatayu is there, nobody would be there. So they did not mention about where Jatayu was. Maybe he might have took some leave and he went somewhere. So then one fine day Surpanaka came and saw. What did she see? Deeptasyancha Mahabahum Padmapatraita Ikshanam Gajavikranta Gamanam Jatamandala Dharinam Parthiva Venjananvitam Ramam Indivarasyamam Bhabuva Indropamam Drishtva Rakshasi Kama Mohita Kandarpa Sadrishim Prabham. Rama, she saw Deeptasyancha Mahabahum, a radiant personality who is very strong. Padmapatrayata Ikshanam, he has lotus-like eyes. Gajavikranta Gamanam, he is walking like a lion, like an elephant. Gajavikranta Gamanam Jatamandala Dharinam, and his hair is matted. Parthiva Venjananvitam, I mean, he is of regal appearance. Ramam Indivarasyamam, she confirms here that Rama is blue lotus in color. He is like blue lotus in color. Ramam Indivarasyamam, Kandarpa Sadrishim Prabham. He surpasses the beauty of Manmada, the Cupid. Babuva Indropamam, in his glory and resplendence, he is surpassing Indra. Drishtva Rakshasi Kama Mohita, and she was filled with lust and love for Rama, and this is what Surpanaka saw. And Valmiki beautifully describes the differences between Surpanaka and Rama's beauty, even before Surpanaka goes and meets Rama. Surpanaka means, Naka means nails. Surpa means, winnows. In India they take rice and then they do this, right? Winnows. So her nails are like, such big things. She can take rice and then do this. So she is Surpanaka. So Valmiki mentions the differences. Rama is so beautiful, his face is so beautiful, and Surpanaka's face is so deadly, even upon a mere sight of her face, you will die. She is so ugly. And he is very young, and she is too old. And his hair is jet black in color, and so soft and silky. And Surpanaka's hair is like wire brush and red in color. Nowadays, we see a lot of people dyeing their hair in red, right? Maybe they might be coming from Surpanaka's beauty parlor. So, Surpanaka's hair is red in color, Rama's hair is black in color. And Rama's waist is slender, and Surpanaka's waist is like, unmeasurable. she's so fat. And then Rama's voice, Priyabhashi, his voice is so sweet. And Surpanaka's voice is Bhairavaswanam, like a dog she is barking. Bhairavaswanam. All these differences he talks about. Rama's eyes are so roseate in color, and his lips are so roseate in color. And Surpanaka's is deadly in color, and her eyes are like, bloodshot. All these differences Valmiki says, and says then that Rakshasi, but she fell in love with Rama, and she approached Ramachandra, and she said, "Oh my dear, you look so handsome, so beautiful, regal in appearance, yet you look like a sage. You look like a sage, but you are with your wife. How is it possible? Who are you? Tell me. And I am very much attracted to you." Then Rama says, "Oh noble lady, I am son of Dasarada. Asi Dasarado Nama is, Asi Dasarado Raja," like that he starts. Once upon a time there was a king Dasarada. I am his son Rama. And upon the request of my mother Kaikeyi, we have been sent to forests. And here we are. I am Rama, he is my brother Lakshmana, and she is my glorious wife Sita, daughter of Janaka. Who are you? Please introduce yourself. Then Surpanaka introduces herself. I am the sister of Ravana, 10-headed demon. He is very powerful. And I have another brother called Kumbhakarna. He always sleeps. He is also a very powerful Rakshasa. And I have another brother called Vibhishana. He was born into Rakshasa race by mistake. He doesn't have any qualities of a Rakshasa. And then she introduces Khara and Dushana also. And I have two more brothers, Khara and Dushana, who are mighty warriors. And they are in the Janasthana outpost here. I am here dwelling with them. That's how I came in contact with you in Panchavati. I am dwelling here. So, my dear Rama, you marry me. I will get rid of this Lakshmana and Sita for you. And we can dwell these forests without any interference at all. See, imagine such a deadly demon coming to you and say, let's marry and roam all these forests. How do you feel? So Rama says, oh my dear noble lady, you seem to be of a... Actually, Rama identifies, you seem to be of a Rakshasa princess. He says, you seem to be a Rakshasi. So then she tells all this lineage. Then Rama tells her, see, I am married. I have a wife. A lady of such a of your caliber, should not have a co-wife. The trouble of a co-wife. I already have a wife. You might face some problems with my wife. And here is my brother, equal to me in all aspects. And he is more handsome. And he doesn't have a wife right now. He is in need of a wife. So why don't you go and marry Lakshmana? Ask him to marry you. Then Surpanaka thought for a while and she looked at Lakshmana. Maybe if not A, it's B. Let me try. And then she went to Lakshmana and said, oh beautiful, oh handsome young man, let's marry and let's enjoy this life. Then Lakshmana told her promptly, I myself am a servant. I am a slave to Rama, my brother. And you, by marrying me, you will become the slave of the slave. For you, the apt person to marry you is Rama himself. Look at him, how glorious he is. Look at him and look at me. Who do you think is worthy of marrying you? I think it is him. Please go and marry him. And also, actually, Surpanaka, before coming to Lakshmana, she says, this Sita, she is very ugly. She is so thin and lean. She is not good. And look at her color. It looks like pale. Look at her eyes. And her waist is bent. Like that, she talks all good things as bad things. Because she is jealous. All good attributes of Sita is expressed by Surpanaka as bad attributes. And then tells Rama to get rid of Sita. Nirnitodari, Virupakshi, like that she uses all these words. Then now Lakshmana uses all the same words to Surpanaka. Says, actually Surpanaka understands it as if Lakshmana was saying that Rama would give up his wife who is ugly, who has ugly waist, and who is very thin and lean, and who is vriddham, that means who is old. Surpanaka understands like that. But Lakshmana is addressing Surpanaka, oh old lady, oh fat lady, oh this, oh that, oh ugly, oh demon, oh this, Will Rama leave his young wife and then marry you? He is asking this question to Surpanaka. But Surpanaka understood as if, he is derogatorily speaking about Sita. Then she thinks for a while again. She says, I think all this is because of this Sita. These are playing games with me. These men are playing games with me. Let me go and kill this Sita. And then she tries to jump on Sita. Then Rama interferes in between and then says, oh Lakshmana, uncultured and cruel people do not have any kind of humor. It is useless having fun with these creatures. Come and check this lady, Surpanaka. Then when Surpanaka tries to jump on Sita, at that time Lakshmana catches hold of Surpanaka, cuts her ears and nose. And then the demon, beating her chests, shouting loudly, runs into the forest. And the forest echoed with the blarings of the, outcries of Surpanaka. Surpanaka went away. But she doesn't go away just like that. She goes inside, and then like a corpse falling from the sky, she fell, like a stone in front of Kara and Dushana. Maybe she might be flying and then she fell in front of Kara and Dushana. They are living in the city called Trikantaka. Janasthana is a kingdom. In that again, Trikantaka is capital of Janasthana. Kara and Dushana's outpost is there. They are guarding the outpost. So she came and fell in front of Kara. Blood was profusely coming out of her nose, ears. Kara lifted her. My dear sister, who is that person who is playing with the venomous cobra's head? He is dead today. He has invited death today. Except Indra, I don't think anybody can do this. Who is that person who has that courage to touch the sister of Kara? Then Surpanaka replied, even though Lakshmana cut the nose and ears of Surpanaka again utters beautiful words here. Tarunau Rupa Sampannau Sukumarau Mahabalau Padmapatra Pundarika Visalakshau Chira Krishna Jinambara Dharinau. She says Tarunau Rupa Sampannau. They are very young, Rupa Sampannau, very beautiful. It's a very beautiful sloka. Tarunau Rupa Sampannau Sukumarau Mahabalau Pundarika Visalakshau. That means white lotus. Their eyes are like white lotus petals. Pundarika Visalakshau Chira Krishna Jinambara Dharinau. They are wearing the deer skins and bark garments. And she also says Falamulashanau Dantau Tapasau Dharmacharinau Putrau Dasaradhasyastam Dhratarau Ramalakshmanau. Very beautiful verse. It all ends with au, au, au. That means two people, plural. Tarunau, Rupa Sampannau, Sukumarau, Mahabalau, Pundarika Visalakshau, Chira Krishna Jinambara Dharinau. Falamulashanau Dantau Tapasau Dharmacharinau Putrau Dasaradhasyastam Bharatarau Ramalakshmanau. They are brothers and they are the children of Dasaratha. Actually, Hanuman, when he addresses Rama also, he uses this au, au, au. Devarshir Rajarshir Deva Pratimau Tapasau Samstitavratau Desham Katam Imam Praptau Bhavantau Varavarninau Desha Trasayantau Mragaganam Anyacha Vanacharinau. Like that, So she uses such beautiful slokas. Tarunau Rupa Sampannau Sukumarau Mahabalau. Then Kara is a little bewildered. Why is she praising them? She says that Rama and Lakshmana, they are the ones responsible for this. First, she utters all the beautiful things. He is such a young man, he is such a handsome personality, he is so glorious, he is wearing deer skin, he has a beautiful wife Sita, he has a beautiful brother, handsome brother Lakshmana. They are so powerful, they are so glorious, but these are the people who have done this to me. I want to drink their blood. Kill them. I want to drink their blood. Get me that lady Sita. I want to drink her blood. This is what Surpanaka is saying. She speaks so cruelly. But the same Surpanaka uttered so much beautiful words. Because the beauty of Rama is such that it brings poetry from even the heart of a demon like Surpanaka. Right? Demoness. A demoness like Surpanaka. So when Surpanaka said all these things, Kara said, okay, I will grant you 14 asuras. Take them and kill Rama and Lakshmana. He orders the 14 asuras. Go and find these two gentlemen who are wearing deer skins and bark garments, and they have a lady along with them, and her name is Sita. She is dressed in golden robes. Go and kill these 3 people and come back. Let my sister be pleased. And Surpanaka took all these 14 demons, and then she went to Panchavati again. This is where Surpanaka is the first one to start this Gundaism and all that. Somebody does to you, you go call your goons, right? Surpanaka comes with her battalion. Then they all stand on a rock near the hermitage of Ramachandra. They see Rama and Lakshmana dwelling that they're glowing. Then Surpanaka points out, these are the 2 men who did that. Then Rama looks at these Rakshasas. Then he knows that the trouble has come. So he tells Lakshmana, take Sita and guard her. Let me fight with these Rakshasas. So Sita goes into the hermitage, Lakshmana guards the hermitage outside, and Rama walks towards the Rakshasas. He has his bow and he's waving, he's holding them and doing like this. And then he goes. Then he looks at all these Rakshasas who are shining, on the rock, just like as if sun at the time of it is setting, how it looks, they are like that, with all their ornaments on. When he sees these Rakshasas, he questions. He tells them, I am the son of Dasaratha, he is my brother Lakshmana, and she is my wife Sita, and we are living here like sages, this Dandaka in this Janasthana. And why have you come here to trouble us? What is the reason? Then the Rakshasa says, you have troubled Surpanaka, we are going to kill you today. And then they talk all this rubbish. Then Ramachandra, he takes out the arrows. They start to take the trees, axes, scimitars and scepters and all kinds of tridents, spears, all kinds of weapons, Rakshasa weapons. They throw at Rama. Then he takes the club, all these things. And then they throw at Rama. Rama takes his bow and he takes 14 arrows, puts them into the bow, and then he shoots at these 14 asuras. Those arrows speedily go and shred the chests and the hearts of these Rakshasas. They pierce through their bodies and they enter the earth. And then the Rakshasas, all of a sudden, they all fell down dead with blood gushing out of their hearts. When Surpanaka saw this horrible thing that has happened, she was scared. And then she started running back, shouting again. She goes there, now to Khara. Now again the humor starts again. Now first she praised Rama. Now she praises him even furthermore. All those 14 asuras that you sent, they are waste fellows. Rama killed them in a fraction of a second. And you are a bigger waste fellow than them. You sitting here, you have no right to rule this outpost Janasthana. My brother Ravana unnecessarily have kept you here. And she intimidates Khara that, if you don't take proper action, I will complain to Ravana and he will take you out of your post. You can open the door for a while. Yeah. So when Khara has said that, when Surpanaka had said that, Khara now is a little frightened. He says, my dear sister, calm down. Whoever has caused you this trouble, I am going to kill him today. I have 14,000 asuras under me. And I will take all these 14,000 asuras and kill the Rakshas and kill Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. So, when Khara told this, when he was promising this to Surpanaka, meanwhile Dushana, he prepares the chariot of Khara and he brings it in front of Khara. And he says, my dear brother, look at this chariot gilded with gold. It has 4 horses of different colors yoked to it. And now mount on this chariot. Let's take all the 14,000 asuras. Let's go. This is Dushana, Khara's brother. And at the same time they have 14 more prominent asuras. Yajnashatru, Durjaya, Vihangama, Hemamali, Mahamali, Trisira, Mahakapala, Stulaksha, Pramadhi. Actually, Mahakapala, Stulaksha, Pramadhi and Trisira are the 4 lieutenants, commanders of these Rakshasas. And under them, again there is another fraternity of 14 Rakshasas, who are very powerful. Shenagami, Prithigriva, Yajnashatru, Durjaya, Vihangama, Kalakarmuka, Hemamali, Mahamali, Suparshva, Rudhiraksha, 12, not 14, 12 Rakshasas. So these 12 Rakshasas, so they all get together and all the 14,000 asuras, they also gather. They take all their weapons. Khara mounts the chariot. They also mount on their respective chariots. And at that time, when they were about to start, the sun was eclipsed by the moon. And the corona seemed as if somebody is rotating a fireball in his hand. Even in those days they had these things, a sling with a fireball at the end and then they rotate it, right? So the corona around the sun looked as if somebody is rotating that fireball. And this thing came. And then the sky was red in color. The clouds were bluish red and red rain started to come down. So when Khara saw this, he knew it was bad omens. They are bad portents. But still he said, I am not turning back. Let's go and kill Rama, Lakshmana and Sita. And some of the foxes, they started to howl. All the jackals started to howl. And this is also a bad omen. As we know in Yuddhakanda, I think we have to open the door.
No, that won't achieve.
Okay.
One
Yeah, and all these jackals, they started to howl. When Kara heard this, he said, even though these are bad portents, I am proceeding to kill Rama, Sita and Lakshmana. And his left shoulder also throbbed. That is a bad omen. That is a bad sign. But Kara did not step back. If you see this blood rain and clouds turning into red color, you might think, what are these omens? Is this true that, if something like this happens? I was watching a World War documentary recently. One day, just before the day Hitler invaded Russia, he was in his Bavarian resort, and then one lady was mentioning what she saw in the sky at that time. She said the sky was red as blood on that day before he invaded Russia. And look afterwards what happened. Everything was destruction, right? So till this date, these kind of things give us a hint, especially during the times of war, these omens. So when Kara saw this, he didn't step back. He still gathered all the asuras, and then he started proceeding towards Panchavati. And that road was very clear and plain. It was not uneven. It was very even. So he took all these chariots, and because of the eclipse, they could see even the stars also at that time. And he saw all these bad stars, shining brightly for Kara. And an eagle immediately came and landed on Kara's chariot, and then it flew away. So he knew that he is going to die. But they all, proceeded towards Panchavati. At the same time, the same omens were seen by Rama and Lakshmana also. And Lakshmana is worried a little bit. He tells all these omens are bad. Rama tells him, you are right, Lakshmana. These omens tell me that there is a future war. But your face is so pleasant. That's why I think it is good for us. We can win this war. And also, my right shoulder is throbbing. He's giving courage to Lakshmana. He's holding his face in his hand and says, your face is charming and pleasant. That's why we'll win the war. Don't worry. All these things tell me that there is an impending danger, but do not worry. And then he hears all the blarings of the trumpets and all these noise that these Rakshasas make. They are drumming the things, and then they are jumping, like moths that fly into the fire. Similarly, these Rakshasas are very cheerful to jump into the fire called Rama and die. And Rama tells Lakshmana, my dear Lakshmana, take Sita and guard her in the nearby cave. Meanwhile, I fight these 14,000 asuras and come back. And Khara, Dhushana, Stulaksha, Mahakapala, Shenagami, Trisira, Pritugriva, Yagnashatru, Durjaya, Vihangama, Kalakarmuka, Parusha, I didn't say that, Hemamali, Mahamali, Suparswa and Rudiraksha, they all come in front of this Panchavati. They are jumping around and then making noises, and then they are shouting loudly. And Khara is also, addressing Rama. That at that time, when after sending Lakshmana and Sita away, Rama, he has these two bows and quivers. He took the bow and he was actually waving his bow like this and then looking at them, just like a batsman, waves his bat and waits for the bowler. Rama as an archer is, it's a very glorious description of Rama. The heroic personality and the glorious personality of Rama, standing on a rock and then waving the bow. Then single-handedly, he's waiting for all these Rakshasas. And in the sky, the Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Nagas, Kimpurshas, Yakshas, all these people have assembled, the sages, to witness this war with the 14,000 asuras and war with Rama. And they are all cheerful, eager to see this war. So with this, we'll stop here and we'll continue with the war in our next week. We'll do this killing of the 14,000 demons in front of the Lord. Not here. Yeah. Mangalam Koslendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Any questions?
No, but Prabhu,